She's out, Doc.
I-O-N. Submission.
This is great. This is awesome. And it's boom drop time for Kofi. With an RKO out of nowhere.
All hail the queen. What is this maniac doing?
The dead man has risen. Oh, no.
What is that smell?
If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
We got a new champion. We got a new champion.
Hey guys, this is a special edition of. Oh wait, what is it called?
No, I was gonna say every time, and you know what? We should leave it in like this. This is fucking funny. We haven't done a wrestling review show or a fucking preview show in fucking a long time, which I'm still like, I don't know why I'm fucking doing this show. Who cares? But some people like to fucking listen to a wrestling review or a preview show, and this week is a lot of wrestling. We have AEW tonight.
Oh, you are just leaving it like this? I thought
Yeah, we're leaving it like this. Fuck that noise. It's
so what it is
translucent.
It is a week. It's not a week in review because that's what the show's going to be from next week. This is a preview of the week ahead, and we really should have actually done this on Sunday. I wasn't expecting Raw to be such a big deal. It was like, oh, season premiere and all this stuff, but it was new set, new music, and obviously that emerged over the weekend. But it's kind of like they're relaunching all of the shows, and I didn't know. I kind of thought, okay, so the Raw thing, they're going to do a little bit for the season premiere, and then it's going to be like factored into the draft, and then all the focus will be on SmackDown. I didn't think there'd be so much focus on Raw, so Raw should have been included. But off the back of that, we can talk about what did happen on Raw and what we expect to happen on SmackDown, and then Hell in a Cell. So this is more of a preview show, whereas from next week, it will be more of a review show because it will be coming out on Wednesday, and it will cover the Raw show, the SmackDown show, and if there's any pay-per-view, that'll be chucked in as well. So it's kind of like the format that most podcasts can't have when they talk about wrestling, when they do come out on Tuesday nights or Wednesdays. So what we're going to be doing is we'll be coming out. Some of it is going to be is that if SmackDown is the main show, we're going to be covering it 5 days after it happened. That's going to be the only issue with it. But we are covering Raw. We are covering Raw pretty swiftly afterwards. I mean, actually, the time in your time zone, this may come out Tuesday night, right? That's correct, isn't it?
No, it would come out Wednesday night, because today's Wednesday right now.
Yeah, but we're going to be recording this on Tuesdays, the Man Show day.
Oh, are we going to record it that day? I don't even know that we're recording it that day. Is there enough time for us to record it that day? That might be the issue. We don't have enough time in the fucking day.
I would say so. You get home from work like at 9 now, right? Or my time, like English time. You get home from work at your time.
Well, I try to get here at 2:30 my time. So we do an hour of the Man Show, and then at 3:30 is my Lingus show, and then that's it. So
I just do it after. I just do it after that. So I mean, because there's no SmackDown to watch anymore. So.
Well, you can. I gotta fucking be doing shit. That's why I'm thinking Wednesdays might be the day, and it's like when I get home, and that's like 3:30 my time, and then we just go jump on it. But we'll figure something out. We'll deal with it. We'll figure out.
But we're gonna be. But the point is we are going to be doing it because we are still in this abusive relationship, and I'm optimistic. About what's coming ahead. So, I mean, I say this, but it's probably not even going to be true. But then again, we did abandon the Monday Night Wars in the middle. So, this will probably be the last time that we attempt to cover wrestling this regularly in terms of on a weekly basis. Because if it goes to shit again, then it's going to be like, Cav, do you fancy doing a podcast about what happened on Raw last night? Or do you fancy doing it about this reunion show? Or do you fancy doing a show about that incident? Or it's going to be like as and when we feel like talking about it. It
might be like that Joe Cronin show. It's every once in a while when something big goes down, they jump on with a fucking show. And it's always great because it's not an every week thing where it's forced in.
Yeah, but I don't want to do it. I want to be
Sure.
forced in. I want this to be good. And
Well, that's the thing. We're going to see about the
Raw was
numbers. If the people don't fucking listen to this and they don't tell people and the numbers are fucking trash, then it's not worth fucking doing. What numbers are respectable to you?
This podcast used to have insane numbers. So,
Yes.
So I think that has to be down to the way that podcasting people are changing their metrics to make it all about the advertising. And advertisers only want, as I've explained to you before, advertisers only want to buy on podcasts that are completed or mostly completed. Otherwise, because they can't be guaranteed at what point their adverts will play. So they need to be given a statistic that says there's a 90% chance that your ad will be listened to because this podcast has a 90% completion rate.
Sure.
And when you're talking about something like wrestling, and people are like skipping through and they go, "Oh, I just want to hear what these guys said about Lana liking black dick." Then they'll just go to the bit where we're talking about where Lana takes black dick. So, but apparently you're telling me it's not the first black dick that you've associated.
No, and the latest rumor I heard, which I mean, take with a grain of salt because there's always rumor.
Oh my god! Wait, let me guess. Rusev's like DDP and he likes to watch.
No, more black guys. That in NXT she was banging Big E. That was the one I heard recently.
Really?
Yeah.
How did she end up getting round to Rusev then? How's that happened? They just put them together as a manager and that's it.
I mean, I guess then, yeah, it's like she's kind of little Kelly-ish. She gets into whoever the fuck she stands next to. So, I mean, she was with the Old Spice guy before this. She dated him.
Is this the guy that's like, now look at your man, now look at me.
Yeah,
that
guy.
Okay.
Yeah. So, it's not on the realm. She enjoys a fucking hefty black. And as we all know, Lashley's packing.
But Rusev's not black.
No, but you see, the thing too is he's swarthy. He's not white. He's still, foreign. So maybe she's just not into white bread and she just likes swarthy or black or, something ethnic. Maybe that's her flavor.
How do you feel about this woman that would choose Umar over you if you were standing next to each other?
Well, listen, that wouldn't fucking be the case. I mean, she still did make out with Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, but she hated it. She tried to get out of it.
She was so disgusted by a white guy that was good looking.
She's like, I'm not fucking making out with this white bread guy. Like, I'm gonna like pretend I'm gonna butcher the angle and put my engagement ring up on Instagram, which is what she did. And then both their careers and subsequently their careers both went down the toilet from that exact point.
You wonder if do you think that he was like, "Hey, do that," or when she's like, "Maybe if I do this," and he was kind of like, "I'm not saying yes and I'm not saying no. I'm just shrugging and walking away. Do what you want." And then he's like, "Good."
I was just surprised like how they got through what they did last night, because it was like last time you guys were like, fuck you, we're not doing this, like we're gonna sabotage it, and now like she's up there and it's pretty full on like kiss, because I was surprised when they went for the whole like hug and all that. I was like, oh, they're doing this.
That's what you think it is, only the hug.
Yeah, and then the little kiss, but then when she started like tonguing him and he's got his hand on her ass
yeah, pulling the leg up, and yeah, I mean, like, you imagine Rusev got to fucking stand there? Ugh, how fucking awful.
He's married with 2 kids, and like one of his.
Well, he's not married anymore. He's not with that Crystal chick since 2011. He got a divorce.
Is he not? But he's remarried, isn't he?
No, and he's got another kid by a different chick. So,
but he bought his kids and his girlfriend to Access. I saw them in the video.
You sure? Because if we looked up online his like history, and it didn't say he was married. So, I don't know.
Married, but he definitely was with his girlfriend and his 2 kids on the red carpet bullshit they do at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
And his kid was predicting how he was going to beat Balor and stuff. It's because they spoke to his kid. They went, how's your dad going to do tomorrow?
Oh, Jesus Christ!
It would have been great if his kid had said, "Yeah, I don't think like they're ready to. I don't think anybody's going to go over on anyone's going to go over on the demon yet." So,
all smart.
If his son had just given like a real fucking smart answer like my fucking kid would do. So.
Yeah. So I mean, that was, Raw started very, very well. Obviously that's the problem. I mean, we all bitch and complain, and I try to think about how Raw was when it was really good. And sure, they had that opening segment that was always hot to the touch, but was Raw always like from beginning to end fucking great? Or did you say who gives a fuck about half the fucking matches? I think we did say who cares though half the time.
We just went through that and we realized that it wasn't
that
good. But it was new, but it was fresher. The problem is, right, is that we've seen everything, and back then, like, we would see something new that we haven't seen before, or we were all going through the experience of it changing from Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage to the whole, like, what's it called over there? TV 14. Is that right?
Yeah. It's mature. Yeah, it's like a rated.
Yeah. And it was like that. It was a part, and obviously the guys leading that evolution will be, associated to it a lot more. So you'd immediately say, oh, it was Austin and it was Brett. But actually, I don't want to discredit those people, but a lot of guys benefiting from that kind of change of direction, and if they were in those spots, it would have taken off anyway. Like I said, I'm not saying that Austin couldn't act or he wasn't a great character and he didn't play the role well, but if John Cena was the first guy that was in there at the right place at the right time, and he was Austin's character and he was a rebel and he was allowed to swear and drink beer, he probably would have pulled it off. Like Austin was the beneficiary of being the top guy at the right time of the thing changing. But at the same time, I also think that he pushed that change by the way that he acted anyway, in terms of like bringing out his real self onto the screen. So I think it was like a mishmash. Austin's a hard one because he's such a big star and he was so involved in that, and he had to be him. But I think everybody that then come after, everybody that was tagged along with it, like Triple H and all those other guys and the Hardys and Edge and Christian and everybody that came along with it, I think they were all like the beneficiaries of the time where it just became more sexual and more violent and everything. So, but once we've seen all that, and now even now at times, like, they could be doing an even better show in periods, whereas like the wrestling is better, the promos aren't, so where the scripted stuff doesn't really work for me. But I think, looking at yesterday's show, I think without it being 3 hours, and if you copy pasted out every segment of the show, let's say for instance there were 12, I haven't counted them, and you could remove 4 things that happened on that show yesterday, I think it would have been pretty perfect. I think you take out that even though it was a good match, I think, but if you take out the Ziggler and Rude match against Heavy Machinery, and you take out 3 or 4 other things, I think you have a perfect show.
I still feel that if it was 2 hours, it would be a fucking better show, and which means is what you're right, because those 4 things wouldn't be on the fucking show.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So you take 4 things off a 12 segment show, take it down to 8. And the 8 things that you have left make that show really, really like watchable.
Yeah, I agree. Your thoughts on? I was talking to someone today about AEW's going to be on tonight, their debut, and they're doing the whole head to head with NXT, and we both said the same thing where AEW tonight will smoke the piss out of NXT. In the ratings, this fucking first show, and
I don't think so. Do you really think so?
The first show, it will fucking melt NXT, at least double.
No, I don't think it will hit 2 million.
Well, whatever it is, I'd say it's doubled. But then I think next week half of the ratings are done. I think it's that first. It's the same. XFL was a fucking monster the first fucking week, and then it halved. So it's the first. So I think that's going to happen. But the question, do you think NXT will beat them in the ratings until a very long time? I don't know if NXT will beat them for a long time.
Are you saying you don't think NXT will beat them?
For a very long time. In the ratings, yes.
I think NXT will beat them tonight.
Oh, I think you're out of your fucking mind.
How are they going to beat them on TNT with a show that nobody knows about?
Nobody knows about it. Wrestling fans know about this, and that's the audience. It's going straight to fucking wrestling fans. Everyone's excited to see this new fucking thing. It's the first time ever. It's
that's a small percentage of wrestling fans. Every person who watches WWE, which will also include casuals, would have seen the advertising for NXT, and NXT only pulls about 1.4 million.
They had 600. The countdown show yesterday had 600,000 yesterday for it. And,
who's giving this number out?
Oh, this was numbers that were out there. Somebody sent them to me. I can try to send them to you. But I just don't see. It's something new and exciting. And I mean, I'm Mr. WWE, for God's sake. I got a fucking tattoo.
Everything I've watched on it so far has not excited me. It's been a letdown.
Well, really? See, I thought it was always good. I thought the pay-per-views have been good. They're very NXT-ish to me. It's like I didn't need to see, because obviously they didn't have a weekly show, so I didn't know a fucking storyline for anybody for shit. And I enjoyed the show the same way I would watch NXT's pay-per-views, but I really wouldn't watch every week the NXT show.
Let me tell you the true thing that happened with me, right? So I fucked up. That thing fucked up on the PlayStation. I was livid. I couldn't get it. I stayed up for it. Couldn't get it on. PlayStation didn't have it. I didn't have to go and fucking buy it on my fucking laptop instead, and then get it through the Apple TV and make it go onto the screen from my laptop.
Mm-hmm.
So I was losing some quality there, but it was fine. I had it on. Was in the middle of the Pac Omega match at that point in time. Fell asleep during the match. Got up in the morning. Didn't care anymore about the AEW because I was wanting to stay up for it. And then by the morning, I had things to do with Austin or whatever. A few days went past. I heard that Meltzer had given the fucking tag match 6 stars or some bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Watched that, which then led on to the Jericho match. And that's it.
Well, and being fair, what time of night was it for you? It's way different time zone, which I'm shocked you don't even stay up for Raw anymore.
No, but I mean, like you were saying, this is a whole it's a new thing and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that it was the lack of desire to go back and catch up with what I missed. In terms of, I heard that by Wednesday
mm-hmm.
that he'd given the 6-star thing. Was like, Jesus, like I need to watch that. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And I went straight in and watched the tag match first. Then the Jericho match was on afterwards. I did not go back and watch the other 5-6 matches.
You didn't see that Cracker Barrel match?
I'm not interested in anybody else but the world title.
Oh, well, you still have this?
Well, yeah, I can get it. It's just now it's available to stream for free, isn't it?
You need to watch the Cracker Barrel match, which I said right off the bat. I go, what the fuck is a Cracker Barrel match? I guess they sponsored the match. So it's just, here's our name. And I'm like, I don't know any of them. I don't know any of these fucking people. It was as good as any NXT fucking thing we've seen. It was fucking craziness. And fucking, you sit there for a little bit, and, it takes a little bit to get going. Once it gets going, then it's like, holy fuck, constantly. I fucking loved it. I thought that match was fucking unbelievable. It was a lot of those holy shit, jump out of your fucking seat type of shit that was going on during there. So I wanted you to watch that.
The thing is, I still got to know something going in. But the thing is, Austin's like you. Whereas Austin can watch anything.
Just a match for a match, yeah.
He made me sit through the NXT UK pay-per-view that he saw it was on. And it was alternative to... watching football. So I like to watch the real sport that's on TV, but he wanted he likes to place football or go to football live, but he doesn't want to watch it when it's on. Like if there's an alternative to it, he'll watch it if it gets him. If it's like he can stay up until 10 o'clock at night or whatever, then he'll watch anything.
Oh, sure, that's a treat. Yeah,
but as there was another choice, and the other choice was NXT UK, he put that pay-per-view on instead of watching the soccer game we were going to watch. And I agreed to it. Yeah, and he's he gets well into it. Like that the match between the two fat guys.
See, I didn't even see a second of NXT UK. I'm like, it's getting a little much. It's like they're watering down. I would almost think, it's too many fucking leagues. But at the same time, I'm thinking that now they're going to actually have storyline when it comes to AEW. They have barely had any, and now with weekly television, they could actually build stories and have something fresh and new with the wrestlers kind of running it, a couple of them. So I'm looking forward to, I mean, I hope it's fucking fantastic. I want it to be the fucking greatest, and I want it to fucking be worthy of something. So there is an alternative. I was wrong twice now about the monopoly. I wanted WWE to fucking get rid of WCW so bad. I wanted them fucking dead so fucking bad. I hated them. And now I go, why did I ever fucking wish for that? It just fucking brought this product down. It's no competition. You need the competition to fucking be better. I said the same thing with Madden football when they got rid of fucking 2K. I'm like, good. Fuck you, 2K. It's Madden. It's all about Madden. Now they are lazy. This is the first year I think the game's good in fucking years.
I didn't even know that was a different game.
What's that? Madden
and John. I thought they just renamed it. And then went back to Madden.
They had another fucking competitor, which was catching up on their ass big time. And they fucking got the rights to the football league. So 2K could not do football. And it was like, well, I guess we're fine. That. And now it's, if you want to play football, this is the only one you could play that has real players. Sorry. Before there was 50 different fucking football games. Now, one only. So what are they going to care? They can fucking fuck around and have the guys running upside down. It doesn't matter. You got no choice. So I'm hoping XFL actually, like 2K does an XFL fucking video game, but they put all their effort into NBA 2K, which is the better game than what XFL. EA Sports has. So
XFL, you'll be lucky if XFL even gets through this first season.
I can't wait for XFL. I love football. Just give me football 24/7.
You know what? I got you a job actually. $50 a week. I didn't even tell you this. What?
Got me a job and I didn't even know.
I got you a job on my on the podcast I do.
Oh,
because nobody wants to cover or watch the XFL. I said to them, I know a guy. He's going to watch all of it. He's going to be proper. He's going to be a proper expert on it. And they're going to give you they're going to give you the show each week.
What do I have to do? I got to do a podcast on it.
Yeah, like a podcast looking at the betting lines. And there's not even many teams, so it's not going to be that hard.
Yeah.
And you just got to preview the week's games. That's it.
Oh, all right. I'm down. That's good for me. I mean, obviously, that's going to be a little rough in the beginning because you don't know who the fuck's on what. You're like, I don't know if this guy's any fucking good.
Yeah, I know. So that'll be...
Once you saw Maddox on LA, who was the fucking best quarterback. It was the team who had the first pick, ended up winning the championship because it was like, oh, Maddox is a fucking great quarterback in this league,
Yeah, you'll know a few players. You'll know Trubisky when he's playing in that league.
I don't doubt it. He's going to be there. And I go, ooh, Antonio Brown over here too. Shit.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Trubisky to Antonio Brown. 5 touchdowns in one game. Oh, my God. Just constantly just throw the fucking ball. God. All right. So do we want to go over SmackDown? What you think? Obviously, first thing, okay, Brock's winning the title.
You know what? That's what I was told, and I
don't know how it couldn't be.
I was told a long time ago that Brock was. So the plan was that Lesnar was cashing in his Money in the Bank on the first SmackDown, right? So they decided we don't need the Money in the Bank here. We can still do it anyway. What we really need is Seth Rollins to have an opponent in SummerSlam. So they went through and rushed through that. Now they've got back to the match anyway. Now it was all set up for Wyatt to win, obviously, which was another rush job. So let's get these 2 rush jobs, right? Brock Lesnar's was always the plan, and Bray Wyatt is getting the championship early because there was a pitch from marketing to say that we estimate that if he's the champion before the Royal Rumble, which was supposed to be when he was going to win it, right? Mm-hmm. If he wins it early, we can make an extra $3 million over Halloween.
Oh shit!
With all this stuff that we want to bring out, if he can be the main character during this period. Obviously, they took the bait, and there's a shitload of stuff coming out. It's the biggest merchandise order that they've made since Daniel Bryan got big.
So this is breaking news. Bray Wyatt's going to win the fucking title at Hell in a Cell?
Well, this has been on our Patreon page for about 3 weeks. But the other story, the story I put out last week said that this is how dumb this company are. When we were talking about how dumb they are and how they don't see things ahead of like the week ahead. So they were talking about how they're going to move forward with Brock and Bray and setting up opponents and stuff. And I think you're going to get like a Rey Mysterio or Brock Lesnar title match at some point on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Which when they did all that, but the problem that they have is they've realized that Bray Wyatt's going to have to face the Fiend at the Survivor Series if they carry on, if they actually do this immediately.
Wait a minute. Who's facing the Fiend?
Brock Lesnar.
Okay, you said Bray Wyatt.
Oh, right, sorry.
I'm like, how the fuck? What the fuck are they doing? Okay.
Yeah, they unless they change the format of the Survivor Series, or they have those guys in teams, or they leave that match out and just hope that people don't notice.
Oh God.
They can't get out. Like someone sat there and was like, oh, a Survivor Series, with the format, we're gonna have to have Bray Wyatt going up against Brock Lesnar. So,
or you have fucking Bray Wyatt fucking fuck him up good. That's a shocker.
That's your main champion on your main channel losing.
Do you see all the fucking commercial? Like everybody who doesn't watch wrestling's like in shock from. Did you see the little Raw commercials that are on TV? I see it all over like Instagram where they show, oh, let us entertain you, and then at the end that fucking Fiend face pops on, and normal people are all, what the fuck is this? Everyone's intrigued, and I'm like, see, nobody, laymen don't fucking know. So it's very interesting to see the mask, it's different. And let's fucking remember when we said, when all this fucking Firefly Funhouse came out and people took a shit on it, what did we fucking say? I know for sure what I fucking said was, give it a fucking time. Let's see what they fucking do. And now it's the fucking greatest thing ever, everybody.
Well, I still see negative comments under the video saying this is the worst thing.
They're out of their minds. It's the fucking best thing they've done in fucking years.
Yeah, they're making a ton of money on it as well. So,
and if this is all his idea, God bless him. And it's a fucking miracle they allowed it.
The thing is with it is that it's going to be difficult for him to maintain where he's at once he loses. That's going to be like the problem with it in terms of when he loses, like how do you bring it back up? Because it's all built.
Think of Undertaker and Hogan. They fucking Undertaker lost. I mean, I think there are ways. So it's got to be. It just can't be that he's getting his ass fucking handed to him, and it can't be oversaturation. Like, we haven't seen him have a fucking match since the first. So, I'm like craving to fucking have that entrance again. We got it once. He showed up here and there. He could have a match here and there, but it has to be, they have to almost treat him like the old school Hogan. Fucking, special. You don't see him every fucking show. It should be a fucking, special thing. And I think it works that he has the mask for when he's fucking wrestling, and otherwise he's a fucking serial killer who talks all proper on the fucking videos. I think it's fucking good. I think they could do it with him having a loss. Just not because he's a monster. You can roll him up for a fucking pin. Shit like that. I mean, if Seth beats him again, is he going to be the monster killer now? It's fucking Beast Slayer, fucking King Slayer, or am I going to be a Monster Slayer?
Yeah, I don't think that Seth's going to be picking up any kind of win over him. I think he's going to be losing these matches that they go on and have. But the Brock losing to Kofi is more of a possibility. I don't think he will, but I think there's a possibility that they try and get out of that just to have this Survivor Series, not have the Survivor Series match happen, and then Brock maybe can win it after that, immediately after that. But it's weird because you can simply just go ahead with all of your plans and just say the Survivor Series is Raw versus SmackDown, but the champions are not participating on the show, or you just do a Raw, or you just change it all together.
You can
just
have
don't
a fake match like I mean, because they do the whole $10 pay-per-view thing, they don't really have to have a match. You could even say they're going to have a match, but just have like leading up to it constantly fucking Bray torturing fucking Brock, and like Brock could be the Andre the Giant to Bray's Jake the Snake, where this is the one thing that fucking scares him. And the lights going on, him always being like, fuck, you know, like actually scared. And then he could just be attacked before the fucking match in the ring. Like the lights go out and he fucking just stuffs his fingers down his throat. And it's not even a match. So it's like, all right, well, maybe then you could even push it to Mania if that actually anyone gave a shit. But it doesn't even have to be a match, because you're not like, I tune into this, where's my money? You know, it's your $10. I mean, they fucking split open Orton's head and stopped the match for SummerSlam. That was a fucking main event.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know how you get out of this match without, like, without weakening somebody. I just think what you just do is you just do what you do and don't have Brock Lesnar in it. Just say Brock Lesnar refuses to represent SmackDown. Like, you can't make me, like, he could just, get heel hate out of it, so you can't make me do it.
If Brock didn't lose any luster from Seth beating I thought Seth beat him up pretty fucking good on the last one. Sure, he had to stomp him 50 times, but it was like he beat him up. Did you get that feel? It was like, even though he had to do it a couple times, it was like, you can't beat Seth multiple times now. You can't beat Seth, and
but I think
that doesn't hurt him.
Yeah, but I think that, like, that's the whole point of what happened on Raw, in terms of if people do feel like that, then he would get it all back immediately. In terms of what he did on Raw, it's kind of, you're not thinking about Seth Rollins beating him now, are you? You're thinking about what he did to Rey Mysterio.
Oh yeah, sure. And the thing too is, I think if either one of those guys beat each other, who suffers more from a loss? I think Bray suffers 50 times worse if fucking Brock beats him up, because there goes the mystique of, this guy's a scary guy. He gets F5'd and fucking loses and lays there. I think if Brock loses by getting fucking choked to death from a freak that's tormented him, I think then he's just an angry monster who comes and fucking wrecks the next fucking people he's got to go to because he's pissed off. Bray coming back from losing fucking just by being beat up, it's not as fucking, it's like, oh, you're scary, you fucking got your ass whooped.
Yeah, I think there's an out for Brock to lose as well, in terms of if he could have this match won, and Rey Mysterio could turn up and
fucking kick him in the face. Yeah, that's true. And then
you could see a route where the ref goes down at some point, and
that's the way to get out of this.
Brock's on the ropes, and Ray runs in, 619s him, and Kofi hits that Travel in Paradise and just quickly takes the pin. I just think it looks bad on your first SmackDown show to have Brock lose.
I'm talking during the Bray thing, not for the Kofi thing. Fuck that.
Oh, right.
God, forget that. Do it. It's Survivor Series, and then Bray gets the fucking pin for it, and, he fucking gets kicked in the face and then stuffs his hand down his fucking throat and wins that way. Fine. No, you can't have no fucking Kofi fucking... Because then it would be, now we move on from Brock, because Brock has to have a program with fucking Ray. Fuck. The fuck what's that?
You see Meltzer reporting that they did it to set up a match with Cain Velasquez.
How the fuck does that set up a match with Cain Velasquez? Because he's going to be actually a fucking wrestler. I thought, I'm like, fucking for a UFC. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and because he's a Mexican.
Oh, there you go. I didn't even think about that part. I know he was like training and stuff like that, which, but I mean, you better be fucking ready to go. You know?
It does seem like made up. It seems like he's just seen something on TV and decided to make up a story about it.
Talk about welcome to the fucking business, Dominic. Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, tossed around. Even that first bump where he just threw him over the railing, he lands on his shoulder. I'm like, Christ, Brock.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't give him an F5, though.
That's the easiest one of all the bumps to take. I would take that
Yeah.
one 100 times. He body slammed him fucking hard outside.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. If you're training and if you're ready, then I mean the idea.
You got to take it. You know, it's gonna hurt. You're gonna take it. Fuck.
I would think the idea is that eventually, like those two guys end up facing the Revival, and they've got the right belt and the right team to get through that match safely, which is what I would think that they're going to end up doing.
Oh, so it's Ray and his son winning the titles?
That's what his son said he wanted to do before Ray retired. So,
you know, I keep seeing memes all over the place where it was like, well, Dominic's real father would have never let this happen to him. Picture with Eddie next to him and shit. I thought that was pretty good. I'm like, fucking Ray's wife's been fucking around and fucking the mailman or something because this kid's fucking towering over both parents.
yeah, like what's this? Like he's I mean, he's not actually big for like a wrestler or whatever. But
No, but he's just a tall kid. He's like 6 feet tall when his father's 5'3". What the fuck?
But he's not. I mean, he's a fully grown person now, isn't he? He's not a kid now, is he? He's not going to grow any more than that, is he?
Well, he's like, is he 17? He's either 17 or 18 because they said, oh, he's a teenager, so he's
yeah,
around
Lawler
there.
kept
So.
going like it's a teenager, like that's it. Like this.
Yeah, I think he's done growing up, tall wise. I mean, my sister has a fucking kid. He's fucking like 6'1", something like that, and she's fucking tiny, and so was her husband at the time. And it was like, I'm like, where the fuck did this come from? So,
but that was the thing. That was the funny part when Lawler was fucking yelling. He's a teenager. He's a teenager. It's like I was thinking. That's never bothered Lawler.
saw that coming down a mile away.
Yeah. It's like, hold on.
He said that many times. It's a teenager.
This guy exclusively like fucking nails teenagers.
Do we want to mention Hell in a Cell? We were going to give a semi-preview, but only 3 matches have been announced.
You know, I think that's just fallen by the wayside in terms of. I mean, that's the weirdest thing. Like, because I swear to God,
they got to at least add 5 more because you got the pre-show, all that shit.
Is there 3 matches announced for SmackDown? Right?
It's you got Becky
match,
one, the main event,
and the ladder match.
Who's the ladder match?
Owens and Shane.
Oh yeah, fuck, I forgot about him. Owens and Shane. Yeah, because we don't have a Kofi title match.
No, there won't be one.
Yeah, yeah, that's the funny thing, which is always funny to me because they were doing the whole Rollins is going to defend the title on fucking Raw, but he has against the Fiend, and it made no fucking sense. Where I'm like, are they going to do something about this because it was a little too much, where it was like something's going to happen because they were pushing it too much. Like, well, aren't you defending this title?
Yeah, then they kept saying stuff. They were smart for once, and they kept saying like Rollins. They explained what would happen. They were like Rollins is going to face the Fiend anyway. So I figured like, at some point they're basically telling you that. Are you still there?
Yep.
Oh, that's right. They're basically telling you that we could have a Hell in a Cell match here, and we could have a title match if we have a new champion. So they're kind of putting in your head that there is only 3 matches on this card, but you could have Rollins versus the Fiend in a non-title match. That way, Fiend doesn't get the belt that early. And I was just overthinking it a lot because of the way that they were presenting it. So obviously, like in the end, it's come down to Fiend and Rollins, which is the right thing to do. I mean, it's not really the right thing to do because the Fiend shouldn't be getting this title already. But I guess when you have the explanation of they just want to make their money now as much as they possibly can. Then why bother like dragging it out? But it is an odd thing in terms of how did he even get this title shot? Why is he going to be the champion? It doesn't really make any sense. But
you know what I would like to see them do since they have their network now? Here's my idea. Somehow, obviously, Fiend does not win the title in this cage, and then says during some promo, I would like to try have home field advantage. And have a match on Halloween, and that's when he wins the fucking title. And have a network special, and it's a Halloween match, and he wins the title on Halloween Day.
But Halloween is Crown Jewel.
Is that actually on fucking Halloween?
Yeah.
Really? It's on the 31st?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, I didn't even know.
And then they've got to do SmackDown. Then they got to fly back and do SmackDown on the Friday, which is why it's on a Thursday.
Oh my God. That
Did you
fucking
not know-
Crown
did you not
Jewel's
know?
on a fucking Thursday?
Yeah, because they can't do Fridays anymore. The Saudi pay-per-views on Fridays, right?
Yeah.
So now they're doing them on Thursdays, and they got to get back to SmackDown to do the TV.
That's
on,
insane.
It is. It is insane.
They're
It's
going to be
actually-
fucking like, they're going to have the fucking shakes when they get back to it. It'd be like, I'd be fucking lose your fucking mind.
Apparently, like what they're going to do is give or take a few people. The Crown Jewel is going to be a Raw pay-per-view.
Now they're switching where it's different
Pretty
fucking
much.
pay-per-views again?
Yeah, they're going back to that.
Oh, fuck.
Well, no, they're not necessarily like that for all of them, because there'll be some that aren't. There'll be some mixed ones as well. But this one in particular, just because of the way it's structured, will be mainly like 90% Raw guys and a few main eventers that they will get back to SmackDown in order to do SmackDown. So like Roman, for example, like this team, like the Team Raw thing, the Team Flair and Team Hogan thing, that's just going to be like Raw guys. So they already basically told you Seth Rollins and Randy Orton are on Raw.
Yeah, pretty much they fucking let you know a lot of that shit. And what do you think of the announce team? Half the time
other
I
guys
fucking
sound like-
zoned out and forgot that it wasn't even Michael Cole.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
That is insane. It was that I was like, wow, that is exactly. And who the fuck knew the black guy?
No, where's he come from?
I have no fucking idea. But I'm like, talk about abandoning Raw as the A show. They have run for the fucking hills with Raw. Fuck you. We're all SmackDown now. Fuck off. You know, so I feel good Corey doesn't have to fucking do 50 different fucking shows. Good for him. But, you know, this is the... I hope the set is different for SmackDown, and I really wish they went back to every pay-per-view has its own little look. I'm very tired of everything is exactly the same except for WrestleMania. It's annoying.
I don't think that they completely abandoned Raw. Like that's actually what I thought they were going to do. But I think as I said right at the top of the show, with the whole season premiere thing, I was surprised, and this whole set and everything, I was surprised how much they did go in on Raw. The announce team, I don't think is that important. I think obviously if you're freshening it up a bit, it's not a major risk. And I don't think you want to go in fresh with all the new people on SmackDown. With SmackDown, you've gone in with what people are familiar with and what's tried and tested in terms of they think that announce team is good. That's up to them if they want their best announce team on it that they think will resonate with the new fan base or like more casual fans, and that's their call. But in terms of like roster people and stuff, I don't think it's going to be a case of, it's Raw is now much closer to NXT, and because otherwise, I mean, if that statement was true, you'd have all the women over there, plus you'd have like Rollins and Reigns and Bray Wyatt and Brock Lesnar. It's not going to be like that. Like the Fiend is going to be over on Raw. I think Raw is going to be a more like
Adult
a show where it's more like, look, if you like wrestling for a long time, then this is like in terms of like, so for example, if you're a fan that watches Raw, WWE and AEW, then like Raw will be more the show for you because it'll have a load of those like longer matches on it, and it'll have like weird characters like the Fiend, and it'll be very like wrestling-ish. I heard that like SmackDown's going to be like a sports show with like statistics, and they're going to be doing like sports interviews through the week in terms of like what they've already started with Kofi going, how are you going to beat this man, and he's on all this kind of shit.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard sell like selling as a sport. That's something I'll be interesting to see how they're going to make that work, because the cat was out the bag on wrestling in the 80s. So I mean, I don't know how you're going to do that.
I'll be watching it after it's done, so I'll have everybody on mute on my phone because I'm going to go see the Joker that day instead at the same time. So I'll watch the Joker, and then I will come home and I will watch SmackDown and see how it went. Do you have any? Go ahead.
I'm contemplating waiting to watch it until Sunday morning because Austin has football on Sunday, and then he wants to come over and watch it.
I just don't want it ruined, so I'm like, I gotta get to it as quick as possible because I'm so busy on that weekend. So I'm like, I won't have time that weekend. So I'm like, I gotta go day of. Otherwise, I never go like Friday night. I'd usually go Saturday or something. But
who's you going with? Your girlfriend?
Yeah.
I try and get that watched in time for like Man Show then at the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should give a week before we review for people if they don't fucking see it, you know?
Oh, in case we spoil it.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, give people at least a week. But is there anything you want to close this with before we go? Any predictions or thoughts about anything?
No,
Otherwise, we said I said AEW would win in the ratings.
Well, specifically SmackDown, I guess, is the main thing you want to focus on. And in terms of like, what do you think the legends come in and do? Because it's been sold around those guys, and long term, that's not going to really work out unless they got so much money for this, which they have, where they're going to say Brock's going to be there every week, Austin's going to be there every week. We're going to find a role for him. He's going to be like commissioner of SmackDown or some like. I mean, what roles do you see for all these people? Like, how much longevity do you think it will have? What's The Rock going to do? Like, I mean, SmackDown could have been previewed independently, but I think that's the main question because, I mean, Owens wins. We think Brock wins. We think Owens wins. We think the tag match doesn't matter because whoever wins the tag match, they probably lose on Sunday. So we may get the results of Sunday given away. You know, if you get like Becky beating Sasha, then Sasha wins the title. You know, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But it's really the legend stuff that intrigues me, which is sad because it shouldn't be now. Because the one question, I put a Q&A thing out for the Patreon. The guy coming in straight away goes, Undertaker and Sting going to set up their match for Crown Jewel on SmackDown. That's the kind of shit people are looking forward
to. Watching on TV right now, they were doing a little promo for AEW before its time. And my God, the hair plugs that fucking Jericho got. It's so fucking bad. They're like total fucking buds in the front of his fucking hair. It's so great. I'm going to have to send you the pictures. I took pictures off the TV so you can see.
Yeah, I'll look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what you didn't answer me in terms of what I asked you.
In what I'm thinking is going to be the main fucking things to look for?
No, in terms of how they utilize these legends in this first week.
Oh, that's... God, I think it's pretty much gonna. I expect Rock to come out and do his fucking same lame bullshit. Finally he's back home. You know, the Rock show, SmackDown. That's what he's gonna say. He doesn't excite me.
No interaction with anybody.
No, I think he's coming out. I think he is the first one to show up. I think when the lights are all strobing, he's the first one who comes out. Because he's the mainstream name.
So I think they could do like Elias starts SmackDown and says that he's the greatest acquisition, and then The Rock could come out and say that how can you not? You're not, because the show's named after me.
That's a good thought too. I could see that happening.
I mean, I don't think that's very interesting, but I do think it could happen.
Well, is he in a contract thing right now to where he can't fall down, take a bump, or do anything to anybody?
I would think that he could rock bottom Elias and it'd be fine.
Oh, God. Or is it more so, does Elias interrupt him instead?
I don't know. I mean, I don't even know if Elias is cleared to do anything himself, but yeah, I would think that's how you have a tie in there with him calling himself the greatest acquisition when The Rock's the person the show's named after. Or do you do something bigger? Like, do you just do you do something with Austin and The Rock together?
I think you almost want to fucking spread everybody out, because then you're keeping it. It's every fucking quarter hour you're getting someone. You're getting Hogan still. You're getting Austin. I think you gotta fucking spread them out. It's a little rough because they're going, balls to the wall first show, and then it's like, well, how are you gonna follow this up? Next week's normal.
Yeah, that's who's that? Who's that said that? Was that some guy you said sent me the text, or was it about Raw? Or was it about this show?
I don't know. I said on message, I think, about that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it
they're
was
gonna
that
blow
guy.
their fucking load, and then nothing.
And then next week, nothing. Yeah, I don't think they'll do that on SmackDown. I think it's more likely to be on Raw because obviously next week you don't have Hogan and Flair. They already said like to each other, Orton and Rollins, to go, "Oh, we're gonna pick our teams over the coming weeks." Or Orton said it to Rollins. It's like, so what if Hogan and Flair aren't even picking the teams, and Rollins and the captains are picking the teams, and the coaches are doing what? Coaching. Well, they're gonna be there shouting armbar.
I mean, how weird is that? They're just showing up to stand at the fucking ringside. Their coach, the fuck out of here. Oh God, how awful! It's not even like they're not even the captain of the team because they can't wrestle. It's like, shit.
So, I mean, that would probably be. I mean, for Ric Flair, that's going to be. I wouldn't let him talk again on TV.
Can you believe how quickly they were like? It seemed like he was not right, wasn't with it. Like he couldn't get through. Like they were like interrupting each other, and he said, "Oh, okay, go ahead." Like it wasn't planned, almost like he was going off on his own. So as soon as he started going off, they just sent Orton out.
Yeah, but he was going off track way before that. Like Miz had to bring him back quite a few times.
Mm-hmm.
He was turning around and going, "I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over." Like, and it's like, what are you talking about? Like the line wasn't. Those lines weren't there. Like none of that was. You could just tell it wasn't there because it caught everybody off guard.
And Hogan was like giving him props, and he's all, "Fuck you." He's like, "What?" He's like, "Oh, he's the greatest ever. I've had it with you." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
I think Hogan was following script, and I think Ric Flair was supposed to say, he's supposed to throw. He was supposed to throw back that like he was supposed to throw it in Hogan's face. He was probably supposed to say something like, "Yeah, I know I'm the greatest of all time.
Don't patronize me." Yeah.
Don't patronize me. Something like that. But I just don't think that he remembered how to get to it. Like everything he was saying was a mess. And then they did the whole handshake thing again, and then they were like,
he's like, "Oh, I'm just kidding." It was real weird. It was like they went all, then they fucking flipped it and got rid of K5 afterwards. It's like, I'm just playing. Like, what? He could have done the whole thing with "Don't patronize me. Every time I'm out here, you tell me, oh, that I'm the greatest ever. You don't think I fucking know that you really broke all the box office records, and you tell me this just to fucking soothe my ego. I've been fucking haunted by this forever, that you're really the best, but you always bullshit me." Yeah, it could have turned into all that.
It's weird because like they went off track. They went like sort of off the rails, and then they brought it back. But then I don't even know why they bothered to bring it back, because then they announced that they were team captains anyway, and Flair picked all the heels. So it actually made more sense. I thought they were off track, which they probably were with a couple of lines here and there. But like, I just feel like, why don't you just keep it as Flair's like senile and jealous, like, because he's managing the heel team anyway. So I don't know. It was a bit of a mess. But I mean, it had to be there to. I mean, it's out of those 4 segments on Raw, it's not one of the ones I would have taken off. But I mean, you'll see the difference, like in SmackDown, with it being 2 hours. See, SmackDown's going to be a sort of 2-hour show where they try really hard every week. That's why I think it's going to be okay.
Well, let's hope. Let's hope Bischoff gets his hands all over this and does it.
Well, the thing is, like, that's the thing. Like last night's show had Heyman's fingerprints all over it, even to the tiny little touches of, when Dominic was in the ambulance, you could hear the ambulance going off. They didn't go backstage to it or anything, but you could just hear that the ambulance was going. Little subtle touches in terms of like to create like more of a chaotic feel in terms of like anything can happen on Raw. Like it's all like his idea was to bring that back, and it had his touches all over it. I'll be interested to see like how much of like Bischoff's fingerprints are on the SmackDown show, especially for this first week.
Yeah, I don't know what could possibly be.
I'm surprised they did it that way around as well, because I would trust Heyman more to do the show than Bischoff. Like Bischoff, I would think you could have given him to Raw if it's not as important.
I don't know. I think Raw is more for the edgy show, and that would be Paul. And Bischoff knows how to play ball with corporate and be proper. And I think Heyman is a little bit more like us, where he'd be like you can't be controlled as much. and he might do a little something fucking crazy or say something that he shouldn't. I don't think Bischoff is like that. I think they could trust Bischoff more.
We'll see. I'm optimistic though. Like I'm not. I mean that's why we're even doing the show.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll talk about it next. You guys will hear from us again next Tuesday or Wednesday because we will preview the show and the pay per view as well. The pay per view, I'm not bothered about at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it will be after Friday's out of the way. I'm actually looking forward to NXT tonight because he's already announced that they've got the TV guide kind of gives it away over there, but NXT apparently tonight is scheduled to finish at 3:15. So there's a 15-minute overrun added to it already.
Unbelievable.
So I'm expecting something big to happen, but we'll see.
I'll have 3 TVs going, one for baseball, one for AEW, one for NXT. So I'll be reporting. All right. Well, that's it for this week. Join us next week for some more wrestling talk, and tell your friends. I've been Cav. He's been Billy. We're out of time.